Time for game number 50. Kramnik against Carlsen. Dortmund Sparkassen tournament. Final game, one of the final rounds. Would Kramnik or Carlsen win the game? And as you can see, who won it already? Kramnik won it, but it's still an interesting game. And we have come this far now when you can see Magnus is the high rated player in the tournament, and every time Magnus loses now, it's like, wow, how can Magnus lose? He's so much more talented than Kramnik, for example. So even if Kramnik is former world champion, also a very strong player, of course. So let's see what's happened. Magnus plays the king-queen's gambit, declined, and Kramnik goes for bishop f4. This is was a very, very popular line here. It becomes a bit like queen's gambit accepted with colors reversed, and this is very heavily analyzed. I think don't really remember, but there is like a lot of moves, like white wants to win a piece here, but often it doesn't work. Like if you do something like rook e8 or whatever, then this tactic doesn't work for white because of this. And even if it tries something, like, it's quite easy to see that this is gonna be bad for white, because he can't really defend it. So they tried a lot of different moves. I think rook e8 was a favorite of some players and rook d8 of some, but the computer likes this retreat that Magnus does, so that's also fine. And then it takes here, that it makes it like there is like a saying, you should only take such a pawn after the bishop is developed, otherwise you will lose a tempo, because then the bishop doesn't have to go here and then here. But still, if they trade like this, Kramnik, he was quite famous that he played this kind of structure both in the Catalan sometimes, like with the bishop here, but also like this. Let's see if I remember how he used to do it. He used to do it something like this as white, I think. Something like this maybe, and then he used to play this endgame, like and he used to win this a lot, because he used like this kind of dry symmetrical endgames, and he was very good at them. So it's a bad practical choice for Magnus to go into I think to go into this kind of position. Maybe it's a little bit bad to go into Kramnik's backyard here, practically. But Magnus is also good at technical right positions. He probably thought he didn't have anything to fear here. And this is interesting that he tries to win the bishop. I can never understand like what pieces should you trade and not, but yeah, it looks good to be able to get the bishop for a knight, definitely. But yeah, Black's problem, please, is this bishop. It's hard to get this one developed. And it's often the same in the Catalan with the bishop here also. Always this c8 bishop is the problem. That's why a lot of people, of course, play Slav instead of Queen's Gambit. So Kramnik is he's used playing calmly. He doesn't care that he lost his bishop pair, because and here he makes a very interesting move, I think. The computer doesn't like it. Computer likes this best, apparently. With very good position for white. Don't really understand why, but apparently he wants to go here next to go on attack on both sides. Let's see if he does that. And now it's threatening to go in here, so he will win back the bishop pair here for sure. Computer thinks black can equalize, and almost equalize with this kind of a maneuver here. Still, it looks a little bit better for white actually. But if this is black best, then white has a serious initiative here, and he definitely have a serious initiative here. But he did this one. Let's see what his plan was. It looks like Magnus couldn't take like this because of this threatening both places here. And he can't even defend because you can take and rook here and win on b7. So Magnus had to take like this, and Kramnik's plan is to go to the queen here, try to get some kind of an attack, but it's not so easy to see how he will, because the thing is that when he goes here and then knight here, then black can of course take it. He doesn't have to get checkmated, he will take it. And Kramnik probably saw this far when he played f5 and thought, I at least have drawing checks here, so I have nothing to fear because I at least have drawing checks. So he did some checks and then he tried this move. And here, as you can read, Magnus made a blunder that cost him the game. He made queen c7 instead of queen c5. Queen c7 looks like a safe move, but of course the advantage of this move is that you threaten two pieces, and it's not so easy. It's more forceful. You threaten two pieces. White has to do something concrete here. So let's see. And also one problem with this one, as we shall see here, it's that like he can never take here. Like check, he can never take here with the king because there will be a knight fork. So let's see queen c5, what would have happened. For example, okay, if he checks, then he will just go here. He can try this move because it's a pin, but he can still go here. And if you try something like this, now it's threatening mate in 1. So only move for black is this. I'm not sure, but it might have been that Magnus didn't see this line, maybe. Yeah, the computer is too good in this position. Stay here, there is nothing for white here. It looks scary, but the computer is correct, of course. So and apparently another way for black to play that also was equal was this. Then white has many tries here, but as you can see, everything leads to 0. For example, here, apparently he can go here. Very complicated stuff here. So I'm not gonna go into detail here, but there was all moves except what Magnus played seems to have been a draw. So let's see how Kramnik managed to win here. He did Queen H6 check here, here. Yeah, and here he can do this one, gaining tempo, defending the rook. He did Queen A5, but it looks lost. For example, this endgame is completely lost because a passed pawn with the queen is super strong. So this will just win. So he can't do that. That's just hopeless. And Queen C8 was a try. Then best is here. Now it threatens to take here maybe. And if you defend it with a knight, then check here. Okay, and apparently just yeah. White has won a pawn. This pawn is strong, and black's pieces is like on the back rank. Like it's kind of obvious that this is kind of winning. So let's see what happened. He went here and then b4. That's fine. And now comes Kramnik's combination. Here rook takes e6. That's a nice combination. It's not so easy to see even now, like how does white win. Of course black cannot go to f8 because queen here, and it's checkmate. So here he checked here. Has to go here, and he did that. He went back. And he just took here. Why is this so devastating? Of course, sacrificing the queen is completely hopeless. So if he goes here, then it's checkmate like this. If it tries to go back, then it's check. Here, check. Okay, and it's made like this. That's a very nice game by Kramnik. Very nice game by Kramnik, and yeah, he computer calls this decisive blunder, but it was quite a hard, difficult position for Magnus to difficult position here, quite difficult to defend, but of course this is a tactical blunder, but it was very complicated here, and I was mainly impressive here with Kramnik's positional understanding, that when Magnus took this bishop like this, it was still very good for, like, white is still better here, so that was nice positional understanding by Kramnik. And of course the computer didn't like this f5 move, but it was a bit creative, so it was fine. Okay, see you next game.